Hi, my name is Mike Holsinger. I'm a co-facilitator with Xcel Energy's Partners in Energy program along with Deirdre Coleman, and today we're working on the Richfield Energy Action Team's goal survey. We're going to share this just a few slides with you before you get into the survey to help sort of explain some of the things that we're going to be asking. It won't take very long. They're just a few slides. We might as well get started. We've seen a version of this slide before in some earlier workshops, maybe just not quite as colorful as this one. You'll see that there's one major goal that is about greenhouse gas emissions, and then that's supported by three subordinate goals. One that's about energy burden, the one at the top in orange, and then beneath that, an energy efficiency goal, and then finally, one that's about renewable energy programs. Now, the placeholders are in here are really what today's survey is all about. We need some help from you understanding just how achievable or ambitious Richfield's goals should be. So in the coming slides, we're going to show you what these would look like with achievable numbers, and then we'll show you an alternative with some ambitious numbers to help you sort of get a feel for the range and what our final document might look like. So let's get started. This first slide shows you what an achievable goal for reducing energy burden might look like. This one talks about prioritize work that reduces residents' experiencing energy burden and increases connections to resources by reaching 1,250 homeowners and renters by 2026 through engagement with 50 residents to participate in low-income Home Energy Squad and Home Energy Savings Program annually, and then engagement with 200 renters through Multifamily Energy Savings Program. That's the program that's most appropriate for multifamily buildings that have a sizable number of low-income eligible tenants. So between 200 of those a year, 50 of the programs a year, over 5 years, you get to that 1,250 number. Now, let's move on to the ambitious version. So here's the ambitious version of the reduce energy burden goal. And you can see that the number of total people reached increases slightly to 1,350 homeowners and renters by 2026. And that change is accomplished by increasing the number of residents who are participating in the low-income Home Energy Squad and Home Energy Savings Program every year. That goes from 50 in the achievable to 70 in the ambitious. Let's take a look at energy efficiency next. The achievable goal is worded as save residents, organizations, and businesses $2.2 million through energy efficiency projects by 2026. That's going to be accomplished by doing two things. First, save residents $410,000 total by 2026 through program participation, and then also save businesses $1,793,000 total by 2026 through program participation as well. So again, the big number is $2.2 million, and that's from $410,000 in savings for residents and the rest for businesses. Now let's take a look at the ambitious version of the same goal. So here, the goal goes up to $2.5 million, and that's accomplished by saving residents $475,000 and businesses $2,069,000 through 2026, both by program participation. So when we look at how these can add up, what's going on here is two charts that show you the achievable and ambitious scenarios, and the business as usual number, that dark blue, is the savings that would happen in Richfield from these energy programs if nothing changed. If it was exactly the same as what had happened in that baseline period of those 3 years, this is what you could expect for cumulative annual avoided energy costs. The achievable gets you to 2.2 million, and the ambitious gets you to 2.5. So the difference is this gap that's right in here. All right, and then over here, that gap is a little bit smaller. Next up, let's look at renewable energy. So the goal here is to increase participation in renewable energy programs among residents, organizations, and businesses by 2026 by adding 100 new residential subscribers annually and 5 new businesses at 50% subscription rates annually. So as a reminder now, subscription to renewable energy can happen in increments, right? You can take some of your energy and pay for subscribing to renewable energy, or you can take all of it. So the first goal here, the achievable, is 100 residential subscribers and then 5 businesses at 50%. The ambitious goal is looking at 160 residential subscribers and still 5 businesses, but 5 at 100%, which is substantially more ambitious. So now here's what this might look like in terms of participation in both the achievable and the ambitious scenarios. The red straight line that you see there presumes that not a whole lot's going to happen and that everything's going to stay kind of the same throughout the period. The blue bars are the achievable scenarios. So you see a sort of a slight growth in participation. And the chart on the left here is the actual number of participants, where the chart on the right is the actual amount of electricity that's under subscription. So they're going to have a little bit of a different curve to them, right? Especially with that more ambitious goal, talking about 100% subscriptions from businesses. Now, the combined efforts of all of these subordinate programs that we talked about, energy burden, energy efficiency, and renewable energy, all kind of add up and have an impact on greenhouse gas savings. And so before we can really look at what the greenhouse gas savings or avoidance specifically should be, we'll have to get some specifics on these other goals because we can't calculate one without the others. So this next chart will show you the range of savings for greenhouse gases based on if we went all ambitious or all achievable. You'd have a range, right? So the business as usual is the dark blue line at the bottom. Greenhouse gas emissions are going to continue to be saved by people's regular participation in these programs. If we go with an achievable scenario, you'll see that by 2032, we're looking at avoided emissions just a little over 20,000 tons. And if we were to go with the ambitious scenario, you're looking at avoided emissions by 2032 of about 25,000 tons. So that may help to help you to think through where you really want to be in terms of achievable versus ambitious for some of the smaller goals as well.